Around the age of 50, something very specific and very measurable begins to happen inside the eyes. The cells of the retina, the light-sensitive layer at the back of the eye, start to function less efficiently. This decline isn't random. It's biologically programmed and tied deeply to both internal and external influences. But here's the hopeful part. Science now shows us that this decline isn't fixed. In fact, with one specific vitamin, vitamin A, you can support your visual system in ways that are not only protective, but in many cases restorative. Not through magic, through biology. The retina is an extension of the brain, a piece of your central nervous system that migrated during development. That's important because what we feed the brain, how we protect the brain, and how we enhance the brain, those same principles can be applied to how we protect our eyes. Vitamin A is central to this because it's required for the production of rhodopsin, a protein that allows photoreceptor cells in your retina to absorb light. This protein is what makes night vision possible. It's what helps you see in dim light. Without adequate vitamin A, rhodopsin cannot regenerate properly, and you begin to notice difficulty driving at night, trouble adjusting to low light environments, or a general sense of visual fatigue. These aren't just signs of aging, they are signs of deficiency. But what's equally important is how we supply this vitamin to the body. Because not all forms of vitamin A are created equal, and not all delivery systems are effective. The preformed version of vitamin A, known as retinol, is far more bioavailable than plant-based beta-carotene, and if you're over 50, the enzyme that converts beta-carotene into usable retinol becomes less active. This means you can be consuming what appears to be enough vitamin A on paper and still be functionally deficient. This deficiency leads to dry eyes, cloudy vision, and more critically, accelerated damage to the macula, the central part of the retina that enables you to read, recognize faces, and drive. It doesn't stop there. Retinal ganglion cells, which transmit signals from the eye to the brain, are particularly vulnerable to oxidative stress. They sit at the crossroads of the visual system and the central nervous system. Without enough antioxidant protection, these cells begin to die off, and with them, visual clarity starts to fade. Vitamin A, especially when combined with zinc and other cofactors like lutein and omega-3 fatty acids, acts as a neuroprotectant. It helps stabilize these fragile cells. Zinc, for instance, is necessary for the transport of vitamin A from the liver to the retina. Without zinc, vitamin A doesn't reach its destination. So the protocol matters, the timing matters, and the form matters. Recent neuroscience also points to something remarkable. The retina is capable of plasticity. That means it can change. It can improve. The idea that the eye is a static organ after age 50 is outdated. When you feed it the right compounds at the right times, particularly during evening hours when retinal repair naturally occurs, you support that plasticity. Taking retinol or its derivatives alongside a meal containing healthy fats in the evening aligns with the circadian rhythms of the eye. This is when the retina is actively renewing its visual pigments. Supporting this process nightly can help reverse mild to moderate vision decline and protect against further loss. So yes, vision changes after 50, but no, you are not powerless. With the right understanding of biology and a precise application of nutrition, especially vitamin A, you can preserve the integrity of your vision, sharpen the communication between eye and brain, and extend your ability to see the world clearly for years to come. After the age of 50, the changes in our eyes often feel sudden. Reading menus becomes harder, driving at night feels more stressful, and there's an overall sense that visual sharpness just isn't what it used to be. But these changes are not just about age. They're rooted in measurable neurological and biochemical processes, particularly in the retina, the part of the eye responsible for capturing light and transmitting it to the brain. As we age, this tissue, is technically part of our central nervous system, undergoes wear and tear, specifically in the photoreceptor cells and the retinal pigment epithelium, which are crucial for converting light into signals our brain can interpret. These cells rely heavily on a particular molecule, rhodopsin, which in turn requires one essential nutrient to function, vitamin A. Vitamin A is not just a general eye health vitamin. It plays a direct and irreplaceable role in the visual cycle, the process by which light is captured by the eye and transformed into a neural signal. Specifically, retinol, the active form of vitamin A, binds to opsin proteins in the rods of the eye to form rhodopsin, the molecule critical for low light and night vision. Without sufficient vitamin A, the body cannot produce enough rhodopsin, and your ability to see in dim light begins to diminish. This is not a vague health benefit, it's a direct functional impact. Neuroscience confirms that even subclinical deficiencies in vitamin A can significantly impair retinal signal processing, leading to symptoms like blurry vision, eye dryness, and night blindness. Issues commonly dismissed as normal aging. What's even more striking is how easily overlooked this deficiency can be. Many people assume they're getting enough vitamin A through their diet, especially from plant-based sources like carrots or sweet potatoes. But these foods provide beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A that the body must convert into retinol. After age 50, this conversion process, that means someone could eat an abundance of colorful vegetables and still have inadequate retinol levels to support healthy visual function. This is why the form and delivery of vitamin A matters so much. Retinol palmitate and retinol acetate, preformed vitamin A, are far more effective at raising blood and tissue levels of active vitamin A in older adults. Beyond just basic visual processing, the role of vitamin A extends into protecting the optic nerve and supporting the retinal ganglion cells, which serve as messengers between the eye and the brain's visual cortex. These cells are particularly sensitive to oxidative damage, and the stress placed on them increases dramatically in our 50S and beyond. Factors like excessive blue light exposure, poor sleep, and inflammation all accelerate damage to this neural tissue. However, when vitamin A is supplied along with synergistic nutrients like zinc, lutein, and DHA, it helps stabilize the membranes of these neurons and reduces the impact of oxidative stress. Zinc is especially important because it enables the transport of vitamin A from the liver to the retina. Without zinc, even high levels of vitamin A can't effectively nourish the eye. What's remarkable is that the eye, just like other parts of the nervous system, exhibits a form of plasticity, the ability to adapt and improve under the right conditions. Studies now show that retinal cells continue to regenerate and maintain function even in later life, provided they are supported with the correct nutrients at the correct time. For example, taking vitamin A at night when the visual cycle enters its recovery phase enhances its effectiveness. When combined with fat-getting meals, its absorption increases significantly. And this alignment with circadian biology supports retinal health in a profound way. This isn't a hopeful guess. This is backed by measurable changes in retinal responsiveness and improved night vision function in clinical trials. In short, age and vision decline is not simply a matter of bad luck or unavoidable aging. It is a biological process influenced heavily by nutrient availability, metabolic efficiency, and the timing of our supplementation. Vitamin A is not just important, it is foundational. Backed by neuroscience, it emerges as one of the few tools that can prevent and improve vision loss in people over 50. And the exciting part is, with intention and knowledge, we can influence this process starting right now. After the age of 50, the experience of visual decline is more than just a matter of needing reading glasses or struggling to drive at night. These are symptoms of deeper cellular level changes taking place in the visual system. As such, it's sensitive to the same age processes that affect the brain: oxidative stress, mitochondrial slowdown, and chronic low-grade inflammation. What's becoming clear from neuroscience and ophthalmology is that these processes can be slowed and sometimes even reversed through specific nutritional interventions. Chief among these is vitamin A, a fat-soluble nutrient with a critical role in the visual cycle. It's not a supplement of convenience, it's a biological necessity. Without sufficient vitamin A, the very mechanism that allows you to see, particularly in low light, starts to deteriorate. Vitamin A's primary role in the visual system is to support the function of the photoreceptors in your retina. These rods and cones convert light into electrical signals, but they can't do it without a molecule called rhodopsin. Rhodopsin is only formed when retinol, the active form of vitamin A, binds to the protein opsin. This process is called the visual cycle. When vitamin A levels drop, your ability to generate rhodopsin declines, and with it, so does your night vision. You may find yourself squinting more in dim lighting, needing brighter reading lamps, or noticing increased glare during nighttime driving. These are not just signs of aging, they are signs that your body no longer has enough raw materials to sustain visual function. This is where the form of vitamin A you consume becomes extremely important. Many people believe they're covered because they eat carrots, spinach, or other colorful vegetables. While these are healthy, they mostly contain beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A. The body needs to convert beta-carotene into retinol, the usable form of vitamin A. After age 50, the enzymes responsible for this conversion slow down significantly, and conversion becomes less efficient. This means that despite a seemingly adequate diet, a person can be functionally deficient in vitamin A. For aging eyes, preformed vitamin A found in animal-based sources like liver or in supplement form as retinol palmitate is far more effective in supporting retinal health. Supplementing strategically with this form of vitamin A, especially in combination with other key nutrients, can address these deficits more reliably than diet alone. But supporting vision goes beyond just restoring rhodopsin. The cells that transmit visual information from the retina to the brain, known as retinal ganglion cells, are equally critical and particularly vulnerable as we age. These cells are under constant metabolic pressure and are exposed to high levels of oxidative stress, especially in today's world of digital screens and artificial lighting. Neuroscience reveals that vitamin A, especially when paired with antioxidants like lutein, zeaxanthin, and omega-3 DHA, helps maintain the structure and integrity of these cells. Zinc is another necessary cofactor. It assists in transporting vitamin A from the liver to the eye. A deficiency in zinc will impair this process, effectively starving the retina, even if your vitamin A intake is sufficient. This synergy, vitamin A with zinc, and protective compounds like lutein, creates a protective matrix that not only preserves current function, but also reduces the risk of more serious conditions like macular degeneration. There's also a compelling case for timing. The retina operates on a circadian rhythm, just like the rest of the brain. During the night, retinal cells go into a state of repair and renewal. Taking fat-soluble vitamin A during the evening, ideally with a meal that contains healthy fats, aligns with this repair cycle and enhances absorption. This synchronization with biological rhythms is not just theoretical, it's supported by human data showing improved night vision and reduced eye fatigue when supplementation aligns with the body's natural cycles. What this tells us is that how you take vitamin A matters just as much as how much you take. Small shifts, right form, right combination, right timing can have disproportionately large benefits when it comes to maintaining your vision after 50. As we reach our 50s and beyond, vision changes become almost universal. What begins as slight difficulty in low light or occasional blurriness can progress into significant impairment if left unaddressed. But this isn't simply getting older. Behind the scenes, the cells and tissues of the visual system are undergoing profound biological stress, mainly from oxidative damage, inflammation, and mitochondrial decline. The retina, which is part of the central nervous system, begins to lose efficiency in converting light into neural signals. The good news, neuroscience now shows us that we are not passive observers in this process. We have tools to intervene, and one of the most powerful tools, surprisingly overlooked, is vitamin A. This vitamin doesn't just support vision, it is absolutely essential for the very process of sight. Without it, the retina cannot perform one of its most basic tasks, detecting light. Vitamin A plays a fundamental role in the visual cycle, the process by which light is converted into electrical signals and sent to the brain. Inside the retina, specialized cells called rods and cones rely on a molecule known as rhodopsin. Rhodopsin is created when a protein called opsin binds to retinol, the active form of vitamin A. This binding enables photoreceptor cells to absorb light, especially in dim conditions. When vitamin A is lacking, rhodopsin cannot regenerate effectively, leading to delayed adaptation in darkness and increased glare sensitivity. This is why many adults over 50 begin to struggle with night vision. It's not just aging, it's a biochemical deficiency. Restoring adequate levels of vitamin A allows the retina to perform this critical function again, improving visual clarity, contrast, and the ability to navigate low light environments safely. But simply eating more vegetables rich in beta-carotene, the plant-based precursor to vitamin A, often isn't enough after age 50. The body becomes less efficient at converting beta-carotene into the usable forms of vitamin A, retinol, and retinol. Enzymatic activity in the liver declines, and the presence of chronic inflammation or poor gut health can further hinder this conversion. This means that while your diet may appear nutrient-rich, your cells may still be starved for the active compounds they truly need. For that reason, preformed vitamin A in the form of retinol palmitate or retinol acetate, whether through specific foods or supplements, is more effective for supporting the aging eye. This bioavailable form bypasses the conversion process and goes directly to work inside the retina, restoring function at the cellular level. There's another layer to this. Vitamin A does not work in isolation. Its absorption and utility are heavily influenced by the presence of other key nutrients. Zinc, for example, is crucial for transporting vitamin A from the liver to the retina. Without zinc, vitamin A becomes trapped in storage and can't reach the cells where it's needed most. Lutein and zeaxanthin, two powerful antioxidants concentrated in the macula, protect the retina from oxidative damage and help maintain central vision. DHA, an omega-3 fatty acid, supports the structural integrity of photoreceptor membranes. These nutrients work in synergy to protect the visual system, strengthening your ability not just to maintain vision, but to resist further decline. This neuronutritional approach is backed by decades of research showing that people who consume these nutrients consistently experience slower progression of age-eye conditions like macular degeneration. Timing is the final piece of this puzzle. The visual system is not static, it follows a daily rhythm. During the evening and nighttime hours, retinal cells enter a repair phase. This is when rhodopsin regenerates and when antioxidant activity in the eye naturally rises. By taking vitamin A and its cofactors with a fat-inheriting meal in the evening, you align your intake with the retina's biological rhythm. This synchronization has been shown to improve absorption and support more effective tissue repair. Neuroscience supports this pattern as a way to maximize the benefit of supplementation. In other words, when you take these nutrients, matters as much as how you take them. These small timing adjustments, when combined with the right nutritional strategy, provide a powerful defense against age vision loss and keep your eyes functioning at their best well into later life. As we enter our 50s and beyond, many people begin to notice subtle changes in their vision. Difficulty reading small text, increased glare while driving at night, or a general sense of visual fatigue. These symptoms are often brushed off as normal signs of aging, but they are actually the result of measurable biological processes happening in the eyes. The retina, which is the light-sensitive layer at the back of the eye, is directly connected to the brain. It is part of the central nervous system, and just like other brain tissues, it is affected by oxidative stress, inflammation, and cellular decline as we age. Neuroscience confirms that these changes can be slowed down and in some cases reversed with the right interventions. One of the most critical yet often overlooked nutrients for this purpose is vitamin A. This vitamin plays an irreplaceable role in maintaining visual function, especially after the age of 50. Vitamin A is not just helpful for eye health, it is essential. The retina relies on a molecule called rhodopsin, which is found in rod cells and is crucial for night vision and low light adaptation. Rhodopsin is formed when retinol, a form of vitamin A, binds to a protein called opsin. When we are deficient in vitamin A, rhodopsin levels drop and our ability to see in low light becomes impaired. That's why one of the first signs of vitamin A deficiency is poor night vision. After 50, this problem becomes more common because our bodies are less efficient at processing and absorbing nutrients. The enzymes needed to convert beta-carotene, the plant-based precursor of vitamin A, into active retinol slow down significantly. So even people with a seemingly healthy diet can be functionally deficient in this vitamin. The form of vitamin A matters more than most people realize. Many assume that eating plenty of vegetables high in beta-carotene, like carrots and sweet potatoes, is enough. While these are excellent foods, their beta-carotene content depends on the body's ability to convert it into retinol. Unfortunately, age, stress, inflammation, and even gut health issues can disrupt this conversion. That's why preformed vitamin A, such as retinol palmitate or retinol acetate, is preferred in older adults. These forms are already in the active state and ready to be used by the body without conversion. Including these in the diet, either through animal-based sources like liver or through targeted supplementation, can restore retinal function more effectively and rapidly. Vitamin A also plays a neuroprotective role. The retina contains not only photoreceptors but also ganglion cells, which transmit visual information to the brain via the optic nerve. These cells are highly energy demanding and vulnerable to oxidative damage. Neuroscience reveals that a deficiency in vitamin A can impair not only photoreceptor function, but also the health of these neural pathways. This means vitamin A doesn't just help you see better, it helps protect the connection between your eyes and brain. Moreover, vitamin A works best when combined with other nutrients. Zinc is vital for transporting vitamin A from the liver to the eye, and antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin help neutralize the free radicals that damage retinal tissues. Omega-3 DHA supports the structure of cell membranes in the retina. This synergy is well supported in both clinical studies and neurobiological research. Lastly, how and when you take vitamin A affects its effectiveness. The retina follows a circadian rhythm, with repair and regeneration processes peaking during the night. This means taking vitamin A with dinner, especially a meal containing healthy fats, can enhance its absorption and ensure it reaches the retina when it's most needed. Fat-soluble vitamins like A require dietary fat for optimal absorption, and nighttime delivery aligns with the retina's natural healing cycle. This is not a speculative idea, it's a conclusion drawn from research on circadian biology and nutrient metabolism. By timing your supplementation to match your body's internal clock, you support more efficient nutrient utilization and better outcomes over time. With this level of precision, vitamin A becomes not just a supplement, but a targeted strategy to protect and preserve vision after 50.